Hey everyone, Doug from B&H here again to talk about the Leica SL2. Naturally, it's a sequel to the Leica SL, and the big upgrade this time is a 47.3 megapixel CMOS sensor, no optical low-pass filter, and powered by the new Leica Maestro III processor. So in typical Leica fashion, the SL2 is built kind of like a tank. It's a very, very sturdy, full metal housing, and it's a very clean design too. Now, the only difference, physically speaking, for the most part, are the buttons on the back. They're laid out a bit differently from the original SL, and we'll get to that in a minute. So let's take a look at some images. These are sharp and very vibrant. You can see that the tones of the pastoral images here have very clearly delineated warm tones. There's a lot of reds, yellows, and oranges, but they all feel very separated. Burst speeds on the new SL2 can go up to 10 FPS with a mechanical shutter and 20 FPS with an electronic shutter, but you do lose autofocus and auto exposure in those modes. Now all that data brings us to storage. The SL2 has two UHS 2 capable SDXC card slots, and yes, that is for video as well, so I do recommend you get very fast cards if you intend to shoot some of the video on this camera. Now for photos, the buffer is 4 gigabytes, which gets you about 78 raw photos and well over 100 JPEGs. Now when it comes to video, the SL2 does have a number of not insignificant features. DCI 4K makes a return here. It's a little improved over the last time though. Now internally you can record 10-bit 422 H.264 150 megabits up to 30 FPS. Now if you go down to 420 8-bit, you can record up to 60 FPS. All the video modes up to DCI 4K can also output 10-bit 422 in 60 over HDMI. Using HDMI, you can get 10-bit 422 even on the 60 FPS modes, and all of the modes up to DCI 4K can use the full frame sensor. Probably the coolest new feature though is the 5K video mode. It records internally at 200 megabits per second, 10-bit 420, a little bit different from the other formats, but most interesting is that it's an APS-C derived 4:3 crop. So what that means is that you can kind of treat this like a Super 35 open gate sensor. And yes, that does mean you can probably throw an anamorphic lens on this thing. So as far as using the SL2 is concerned, the touchscreen works in tandem with the joystick and the exposure dials, and the overall layout of the menus is very clean. Most of what you need to adjust can be adjusted with one menu press, which gets you a quick menu. But if you do need to go deeper, just hit it twice and you get into the advanced options. The camera also adjusts its overlays and menus based on the mode you're in. A simple click of the top button here, which is a customizable button, by default will switch you from photo to video mode. You can of course do that in the menu itself, but once you switch with just the button, all of your overlays are changed. And both the rear LCD and the EVF are gorgeous. The EVF in particular runs at 120 FPS and has a 100% frame coverage. Alright, so that's it for our first look at the Leica SL2. Thank you for watching. My name is Doug with B&H, and I'll see you next time.